Disney turned Splash Mountain into Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and the biggest mistake people make is trying to ride it the wrong way. The ride uses a virtual queue now, which means you're not standing in line, but you still have to have a plan. We joined that virtual queue sometime after lunch. I don't remember what time exactly, but we checked the status around 1 o'clock, and we were group 125 while they were still boarding groups in the 50s, just for reference. So right away, we knew this was going to be an evening ride, not something to plan our afternoon around. From the time we joined that virtual queue to when we actually rode, it was about a 6-hour wait. And that's important to understand. You are free to do other things, but you don't need to waste your time hovering around the ride. At 6:02 p.m., we got the notification on my phone that it was our turn, and we had until 6:55 p.m. to get there. So they get you about an hour. That window is pretty generous. You don't have to sprint across the park. You just need to be paying attention once your group number starts getting kind of close. Stay in the area, get a Dole Whip. The physical queue was so smooth. Boarding the boats was really easy, and everything felt really well paced once you're actually there. This experience was so much better than the old Splash Mountain used to be. Once you're on the boat, the ride alternates between darker, kind of quieter scenes and then really bright, colorful ones. Lots of music, lots of movement throughout. You've got some small drops early on that ease you into it, nice gentle turns, and a lot of detailed scenery. There's a ton to look at if you're filming inside the ride. And if you plan on doing this ride, P.S., it's fun if you've actually watched this movie before you go. Now, there's one really big drop near the end, and yes, you will get wet. But it's quick, it's over fast, and it's much less intense than people expect if they're picturing that old Splash Mountain. We rode with all 4 kids, including our 3-year-old. Now, he was a little bit unsure at the big drop, but we actually didn't tell him it was coming. And we had him secured, we had him prepared. Overall, he handled it really well. At the end of the ride, he was stoked. If your kids are okay with dark rides and mild thrills, this one's very doable. Oh, and this is where those magic bands actually add value. If you remember from the last episode, we bought the newer Magic Band. They're called Magic Band Plus now. They're pricey, they connect by Bluetooth, and you have to actually charge them, unlike the old Magic Bands. But the new ones light up and they react during the ride, which makes it way more immersive, especially for kids. I wasn't sure if the Magic Band Plus was going to be worth the cost, but this is when I know it was a good investment. Plus, hopefully it's not our last time going to Disney, so we'll use them again in the future. Here's the bottom line for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Don't stand around waiting for this ride. You don't need to waste a fast pass on it. Join that virtual queue and expect several hours. You can do so many other activities in between. Start watching your group number once you're within about 30 or 40 groups of being called, and just make your way over to that area. But even if you're not right in the area when your group is called, you still have almost an hour to get there. After Tiana's, we moved into the final stretch of the night. We hit the Jungle Cruise, the fireworks, and then heading out of the park. Come check it out with us, and I'll see you in the next episode.